I bet you think you're already confident, right? I bet you think that you have it all together and that you don't need any help in the self-awareness area. Well, guess what? 95% of us think the same thing, but the truth is only about 10 to 15% of us are actually self-aware. Now, if that's the case, what blind spots are holding your confidence back? Okay, so let's say you think you are confident, but I wonder if you realize there are some hidden gaps between who you think you are and how people actually experience you. Could those gaps be secretly and quietly holding you back? In this video, we are going to build a personal growth engine, and you'll become a student of your craft and learn how to turn your passion into opportunity. Let's dive into it. The first step is to become an expert on you. Nobody else can know you. No one else can fill in for you. No one else can do anything on behalf of you unless you either tell them or they are you, right? So in order for you to fill in these gaps that we're talking about, it is imperative that you become an expert on you. You need to become the CEO of you. What does that look like? Well, you need to become self-aware. Self-awareness actually influences how we show up for ourselves. This is so true, guys. When you know who you are, you know what you need to do and be your best. You can be very intentional in how you teach people how to treat you. You can be very intentional in the amount of effort that you put forth to get the things done that you want to get done. One of the realizations that I had recently after a trip to Italy with my husband was I don't like when people lie to me, but what I realized is that I have been accepting me lying to myself. And that is a problem if the goal is to design a life that I love. And so even though I consider myself to be an expert on me, I was not using the knowledge that I had about myself to be intentional to the degree I needed to be intentional to actually start building and designing the life that I love. So the first step, if you want to start filling in those gaps and actually becoming one of the 10 to 15% that is really and truly self-aware, you have to become an expert on you. Now, introspection is very important. I teach this inside one of my programs to be very introspective. And I even give you some tips and some steps on how to actually begin the process and actually walk through the process. But that's only a part of the equation. Being introspective is extremely important to the process. But you also need to understand how other people are experiencing you. So yes, you need to, number one, be an expert on who you are, but you also need to be very observant to how people see you, how they experience you, what their experience is with you, what they're saying. It's a good idea to even ask, like, how do you see me? Where do you see my expertise? Where do you see some of my challenges? Where am I blind? Help me to see them. Because when it is about being the expert of yourself, you're going to do the introspection, but there are going to be some areas that you don't see. Maybe you're blinded by your influences, your experiences, the perspective that you have up to this point. So you may not see them as challenges that need to be fixed or value that can be exposed and shared, but someone in your circle will. So you want to find a trusted person to help you. So when it comes to become an expert on yourself, remember that 95% of us actually believe we're self-aware, but in actuality, only 10 to 15% of us actually are. And I think a litmus test for this is, are you where you want to be? Are you doing the things that are going to get you where you want to be? Are you being intentional in your actions that are being worked as part of the plan to actually achieve the goal? Are you doing the things necessary, or are you lying to yourself? Do you really know what you need to do and be your best? And then also, are you allowing other people who experience you on a regular basis to help you fill in some of those gaps. That is the first step. Become an expert on you. Now, before we go any further, if you would please be so kind as to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you don't miss new video uploads. If you've been here for any amount of time, you know that I am on a mission to build my YouTube channel and get this content out to as many people as possible. And just in case you don't know what we are about here on this channel, I have recently defined what it is I want to talk about and who I want to talk to. So for you ambitious women out there who are aspiring to design a life you love, this is the channel for you, because we will be talking about all the things. We are going to become a community of women, of ambitious women who want to design their dream life, but they want to do it in community. If you're anything like me, it is one thing to watch people in the 1% who are living the life that I want to live and be empowered and encouraged and motivated. But that only lasts for a few minutes. Like, I can watch these videos for a few minutes, maybe 2 or 3 of them, but only a few until I start itching to get out there and do the thing myself. And those videos that could be inspiring and motivating turn into videos that make me feel bad about what I'm not doing or make me feel like I'm not doing enough. And so I want to kind of get out there and guns a-blazing to get things going. But what I realized is that those people are already there. So they, in some instances, may be giving great advice, but if I can't relate to their come up, then sometimes some of the advice they give doesn't work for me. So what I want to do here on this channel is I want you to come along for my journey. Join my challenge. Let's become the community that is growing into our life designs together. And we are holding each other accountable, and we are lifting each other up and encouraging and motivating one another when we get discouraged. So if that sounds like the type of community you want to be a part of, if you're ready to get locked in so that you can level up, this is definitely the channel for you. So please hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. And I'm thinking about doing giveaways so that I can get my comments up. So if you comment, I'm going to start doing some giveaways. I've got great programs, ebooks, coaching programs, all of the things. And I'm going to start giving some of those things away if you comment down below. So let's go ahead. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get back to the content for the video. What is the next step, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. The next step is mastering your skills within your profession or within your area of interest. Once you've mastered yourself, it's imperative that you become an expert in the field of study or in the interest that you want to share value in. For me, I started off with marketing, and the goal for me has always been to help women look their best and become attractive to the business or the partner or the client that they want. And also for the businesses to develop a culture that brings in the best talent and a brand recognition that brings in the right customer base and helps them build relationships, and also helps them create systems and processes that make work more efficient and effective. So I've always had that desire, but what did I do? I wanted to get even better at that, and I wanted to put my spin on it. So though most people are talking about marketing from the aspect of sales and how to get more sales, I approached this idea of really understanding how you connect to those you are trying to attract so that you can share with them your value, but you must know your value first. You must be the leader of yourself first. So I have become the expert. My expertise is in helping you with personal development, personal growth, and personal mastery. Because when you have mastered who you are and become the CEO of you, the leader of you, you can lead everywhere. You can share your value in a way that attracts the right group of people, puts you in the right circles, and then you'll be able to speak very intelligently and authoritatively on your subject matter. So I believe that it's important for you here also in step number 2 to really master your profession and your area of interest. Read the books, take the courses, look at the videos, get very well versed in the area of expertise, find a way to connect to it so that your approach to it is unique to you. Because really, ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, whether you are trying to build a relationship with someone else or you're trying to grow a business, you have to show your unique value proposition. And once you've mastered you, you can then apply what you know about yourself to the area of expertise you have once you've mastered it. And you can put a spin on it that is unique to you. And that becomes your unique value proposition. And that is how you end up in your area, your industry area, your social circles. And you end up the authority on whatever that subject matter is from your perspective. And you can speak confidently and intelligently on it and really get your points across. So step number 2, master your profession or your area of interest. Now, the next step is to practice a growth mindset. Quite honestly, you probably need this growth mindset even before you get started with the first step of mastering you, because it sort of takes the idea that you can learn, you can get better at something. You don't have to be an expert right off the bat. You don't have to be a savant in your area of interest. A growth mindset means that you believe in one's abilities and intelligence can develop and improve over time. So you're not stuck in, this is what I know, this is all I know, and this is all I'll ever know. Instead, you're like, I may not know it now, but I will find the answer and I will get really good at this until I will keep going until I am an expert in this area. And I know all there is to know about this thing and I can put my spin on it. So it is important to practice a growth mindset. Now, what are some benefits of a growth mindset? Let me look at my notes over here so I can share them with you. It minimizes stress. Who doesn't need that? It improves your resilience, because we all know that failing is a part of succeeding. You don't get where you want to go without failing. So your resilience is really improved when you have a growth mindset, because you know, even if I didn't do a good job this time, maybe I failed this one time, but now I've learned, let me add what I've learned to the equation and move on to the next attempt. So it improves our resilience. It also helps you with the acceptance of change. The one thing that we know is a constant is that change happens. Nothing stays the same. When you have a growth mindset, you're okay with change because you know you're in a constant state of learning and improving. And so you don't mind when things change. Also, you're more equipped to self-regulate. We all know that when it comes to emotional intelligence, it is important for us to be able to self-regulate. We have to be able to read the room. We have to do the things to get the people on board with what it is we want them on board with. So we have to be able to self-regulate. And then also it helps you improve your self-esteem. When you have a growth mindset, you will feel better about yourself because you're not always feeling like you're failing. You're not always feeling like you need to complain and whine about what's not, because you know that you have the ability to make it what it needs to be. So you have much more confidence, and you have a higher self-esteem when you have a growth mindset. And then lastly, you're less afraid of feedback. I used to hate people telling me I was wrong, but now what I realize is it's an opportunity for growth. I may not like to hear it. I mean, I still don't like to hear I'm wrong or something can be better, but I recognize the importance of people giving me feedback because it helps me to grow. It helps me to improve. And so now I am able to look at feedback as a positive. Even if the feedback is negative, I can look at it as a positive. So this third step here is to practice a growth mindset. Now, the fourth step that I think is really important is to have a focused vision. Now, when it comes to having a focused vision, there are three things that you need to do. You need to be more reflective, you need to be more restorative, and you need to be able to reimagine your success. Let me dial it back and share with you what I mean. When it comes to being more reflective, what I'm saying is here is you need to look at and evaluate what has worked, what hasn't worked. You need to look at where you were stuck in your process. You need to look at what were some of the big lessons that you learned. This is being reflective when you are trying to achieve a goal and you have a plan and you're working the plan with those actions. it's important to constantly evaluate these things and be reflective. Understand where your strengths actually served you and where your limitations held you back. And then also, how did the year or how did the set of circumstances leave you feeling when it was over? This is about being reflective. Now, when it comes to being restorative, think about this. Are you operating within your personal framework? Restorative means your personal framework is your strengths, limitations, desires, and non-negotiables. When you set yourself up with operating within your strengths, mitigating your limitations by delegating or maybe alleviating something altogether, staying very aware of what it is you want and putting that in front of you so that you strive towards it. And then setting up those boundaries that are necessary to prevent those non-negotiables from holding you back. This is a way for you to really set yourself up for success. So when you're being restorative, you need to think about, are you operating within your personal framework? And then how can you improve productivity? We want to restore our productivity. If we find that we've fallen back, we're not doing the things that we needed to do, we're not getting where it is we need to go, are we being productive? Because sometimes we think because we have a lot of things going on and we're able to accomplish a ton of things throughout the day, we check off every box on our to-do list for the day, we feel like we have been productive. But if the actions you're taking are not pushing the needle in the direction of the life that you are trying to design for yourself, are you really being productive, or are you just a hamster on a wheel doing the same thing every day expecting a different result? I promise you, if you want to fill in these gaps and be self-aware, these are the things that you need to be asking yourself along the way. How can you mitigate those bottlenecks that create these instances where you can't get ahead, you can't get things done? Maybe you need to create better systems. Maybe your processes are not what they need to be. Maybe your daily workflow is wrong and you need to adjust it. But in order to be restorative, these are the things that need to be looked at so that you can restore things back to this rightful order and the order in which you are intentional and designing the life you want. The last step, step number 5, is be willing to try and develop an acceptance for failure. Because, like I said earlier, no success happens without failure. Be used to it, understand it, but have a game plan for when it happens, okay? Failure is an opportunity to learn. Mistakes lead to innovation, and failure can actually be the fuel that leads to your success. Now, listen, when you're an ambitious woman aspiring to design a life that you truly love, but you're stuck or you're ill prepared, watch this next video. Obviously, YouTube thinks it's something that you should see, and I happen to believe it's true because I did the video. This whole channel is designed to help you achieve your goals, to really leverage who you are to get the things that you want. So again, if that is the direction that you are trying to go and you want a community of individuals to help you get there, to walk alongside you, to climb this mountain together, instead of watching videos of the 1%ers or those who want you to believe they're 1%ers giving you advice on how to get there yourself, then definitely subscribe to my channel and let's lock in together so that we can level up as a community. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will look forward to you. Don't forget to hit the bell notification because new video is coming out next week, along with vlogs will be starting soon, and my video podcast, it publishes every Tuesday. So tons and tons for you to watch, and I hope to see you back here as a subscriber next week. Bye, guys.